Jesus decided to go to Galilee, and he found Philip. And Jesus said to him, "Follow me." Now, Philip was from Bethsaida, the town of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one about whom Moses wrote in the law and also the prophets, Jesus, son of Joseph from Nazareth." But Nathanael said, Can anything good come from Nazareth?" Philip said to him, "Come and see." Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him and said of him, "Here is a true child of Israel. There is no duplicity in him." Nathanael said to him, "How do you know me?" Jesus answered and said to him, "Before Philip called you, I saw you under the fig tree." Nathanael answered him, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus answered and said to him, "Do you believe because I told you that I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than this." And he said to him, "Amen, I say to you, you will see the sky opened and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." The Gospel of the Lord. What a beautiful reading for today as we celebrate the life of a woman who dedicated her life to first her family and then the rest of her life to God. This is inspiring and beautiful because this is what God calls every one of us to do, to devote ourselves to family and the service of the community on earth. And therein lies sainthood. So often we see the saints as far off, distant people that we could never be like. Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton is raised up for us as the example that sainthood is not far off for any of us if we have the courage to hear God's call and to respond. A holy woman, a normal woman, a mother of 5 children, that God called to the holiness of life, to do what I'm sure came naturally to her anyway. She cared about teaching. She cared about teaching children. She cared about the poor. She cared about the children. She cared about the poor. She cared about God. She's a saint of our church. And how many of us can also say the same of us in our life? That we love our family, that we love God, that we love children, and we are called to serve. And so I'm excited. I'm excited about St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, born in the United States, the first American-born, U.S. citizen-born saint. There's hope for us yet. The saints offer us examples of the truth that there is hope, that all of us are called to be saints. And the truth is the church may not recognize officially any of our sainthood. You probably won't see a statue around here one day of Deacon Stephen. But the truth is that the saints of the church are those who lived holy lives and are in heaven with God. And that is something, whether the church ever canonizes us or not, we can all aspire to. Living lives of holiness, responding to God's call to be servants in whatever way God has gifted us to be servants. And I love that when Jesus calls Nathanael, he looks at him and says, look at this one, this guy. He sees him, he knows him, he loves him. And he says, I knew you and what you were going to do long before you could ever imagine. God sees us too. Maybe not under a fig tree, but he sees us and he knows us and he calls us to serve him. And that is the Christian life. Whether we're milking cows, whether we're setting up the church, whether we are teaching in school, whatever God calls us to do, in the way that we do it, we are called to be saints. And Elizabeth Ann Seton is proof that there's hope for all of us. Amen?